Welcome back to another episode of Market Grinders. Before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to anybody who participated in the Mara call option last week or bought shares. But if you've gotten a call option or bought shares, you made money on it. So congrats on that. So let me get some comments. If you guys want to get more of those plays, I'll actually be doing a little more next week on the Mara as I'm still in it. I'll give some guidance on that at the end of this video too if you guys want to stick around for that. So but one of the main purposes of the video for today, I just wanted to kind of go over charts with you guys, right? And how to use charts, how to utilize charts, and what charts are used for. So and I'll be using the Mara chart, and this is a so for my new guys who don't know, there's a difference between the call option chart and the actual stock chart. I'll be going over the stock chart today. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to hold you guys long, but I do want you to understand the importance of the being able to utilize a chart. There are two main charts that we utilize today. We'll be looking at a line chart. There's also what they call a candlestick chart. Both of these charts show a time frame and a price range. So on the right side of the chart, you'll see the price range. The top of the chart, you'll see a time frame, and the bottom of the chart, you'll see a time frame. So at the top of the chart, the time frame goes from days to years. So from 1 day up to 10 years. So it gives me a graphical representation of 1 day price target move on the chart, all the way up to a 10-year price target move on the chart. And the bottom of the chart actually gives me the months, to give you actually. So if we're looking at this Mara chart, it shows November, March, July. And we're looking at the 1 year version of it. And then underneath it gives some other things like opening volume, the high, the low. It also gives the market cap, price to earning ratio, volume, 52-week high, 52-week low, and beta, earnings per share, and yield if it pays a dividend. So I'm just looking at Mara. It does show that the 52-week low was $2.03. 52-week high, I think we just hit that last week, about $83.85. So what that tells you could have bought this stock at the beginning of the year for $2 and just held on to it. Bought as much as you could for $2, held on to it up until now, and you'd be sitting at $83. So that's like $79 profit on each share if you'd have bought them all at $2 and rolled it out. So I just want to highlight long-term investing. That is the key. But just getting back to the chart. So a couple things that you want to keep in mind when you're utilizing the chart to understand how do I get into a trade and how do I get out of a trade. Get in mean when do I buy, get out meaning when do I sell. So a couple things that I look at when it comes to a chart, again, looking at the 1 year Mara chart, I look at the highest it's been. So of course now the chart is a graphical representation of the stock's price target, right? So we're always looking at the past. We're not looking at nobody can tell the future. But a lot of times a stock chart will give us a good indicator of what the future has in store. So just think about it. Excuse me. Think about it in real life situations, right? So if you're going to get a job, you give your resume. Your resume is the past. Your resume isn't the future. Your resume says you had this degree, you graduated this particular college, you had this particular GPA, you worked these particular jobs, you have these particular skills. It's the past. So an employer looks at their resume and says, okay, looking at this person's past, I project in the future he could be an asset to our company. Same thing with relationships. You know a person's past. You don't know their future. The future hasn't happened yet. And you can say, and these can be any kind of relationships. business relationship, personal relationships, but you know, or you know of this person's past, and you look at this person's past history to determine if you want to get involved with this person from a personal standpoint or from a business standpoint. So the stock market is the same way, right? We can't predict the future. We can just look at the past to try to direct or try to make a educated guess on what the future may hold. So looking at the Mara stock chart, one thing that I look at highs, right? So if you look here, right? So in February, Mara hit $47.90, and then it fell down, and it hovered around from 28 to 34, and then it went up to $56, and then it fell down, and it trended all the way down to around $19.66. It stayed in that $19 to $20 price range from May 14th all the way out to, I'll say, September 30th, when it started to trend up in the 30s, and then Mara hit, the 52-week high of about 80 some odd dollars, and is currently sitting at $75. So I think I got into Mara maybe 14 days ago, so about 2 weeks ago. So my thesis at that point, a lot of this, if we look September, October. So in October, Mara was around $51. I look back here, the highest it had been was $56. So that was one of the things that kind of helped guide my purchase of the $50 call option. So I saw that it did hit $56. So if it hit 56, that means that it has broke through the $50 price before. So I said, okay, we can hit $50. So I'm fine with that. So now I needed to determine when I call out these peaks, those are what the market or people who trade in the market call resistant levels, meaning that at that level, the stock starts to see resistance and it normally pulls back. Meaning once the stock gets to a certain price, people sell off and then the price drops down. So I saw it hit 56. So I said, okay, we can hit $50. I always go back. I don't go for the highest number. So if it's 56, I'll take $6 off. And my target at that point is 50, right? So now I'll place the $50 call option. So it of course hit the $50 call option. If you guys been riding with me, y'all saw it hit the $50 call option and then trend higher than $50 all the way up to $83. Normally I would have took profit at 83. I would have been happy at 83. I probably took profit a little earlier depending on the amount of money that I had invested. So that was about a 200% gain. So that was an awesome return, but I decided to stick it out just because of some other things that are going on surrounding Mara, meaning and the company and crypto in general. So another thing that I looked at before I jumped into purchasing that call option was support. Support is, if you look at the chart, those are these bottom levels. So $18, $30, $34. $32, and then we trend all the way down to around $19, and then it drops down to 23, 31, 31. So at that point, I say, so how far has Mara fallen? And then that is where I want to get in. I want to get in at the lowest point or the lowest area, right? So I would call, being that I'm seeing resistance from $22 to $30 or $32. So I would say I'm looking at a $28 to $30 entry point. So I'm not going to get into this stock until it hits 28 to 30 based on the year chart. And I think I got into it when it was around $30, $35. So now I know that I can make profit from 32 all the way up to 50. So anything above 50 is going to be just icing on the cake. And that's where we are now, icing on the cake. That's why I'm staying around as long as I am in this particular call option. So I feel like we have a little more to go before this option starts to pull back. But that's the way that one of the ways that I use a call options chart or a stock chart to understand when do I get in and when do I get out. Things that you want to keep in mind when you're looking at a stock chart is, if the stock is showing in green, that means that it's a upward trending pattern. If the stock is showing in red, that means that it's a downward trending pattern. And I'm just going right. This particular training right here is just top level charting. It goes a lot deeper than that, even from different moving averages, right? So you have a 10-day, 20-day, a 50-day. So moving averages, it means where a stock has moved on average in a particular time period. I also use those. I won't get into that. That's another training. So, but those are the things to keep in mind. Basics, support and resistance. Resistance is the top of the chart at a certain time period. Support is a bottom of the chart at a certain time period. And keep in mind, it is just a range. It's just an average. So resistance isn't a finite number. Oh, resistance is 56. It's gonna go to 56 and it's gotta go to 56. It may not go to 56 and it may go over 56. Support, same thing. Support, I'm not gonna buy it until it gets 19. And it's fine, to be that disciplined to stick it out till it gets 19. But I look at it as an area. If it doesn't hit 19, but it hovers around 20, 21, that's close enough to 19. I figure if it drops down, I only got a $2 loss before I start to trend up in the upward direction. So those are basics on understanding charts with support and resistance. So just some additional guidance going into next week. If you guys, for anybody who is still in who bought the Mara call option or the Mara stock, I think there will be a little more pullback at the beginning of the week. So that's an opportunity maybe to jump back in and see a little profit. But my pullback area right now, Mara sitting at around 60. I'm sorry, sitting around 75. So I will look to get in around 64 if I was going to get in and add more to my position. But Mara did have just reading some news on Mara. Mara digital stock did have a slip after missing the crypto mining's revenue expectation. So Mara was expected to make a little more than they did so far. Actual earnings aren't expected to be reported until the 19th, but they were expected to make a little more money than they did. But they didn't, based on some investments that they made. That caused the stock to pull back a little Friday, but it did hold steady Friday, right? More buyers did come in to hold that stock up Friday. So I would just say look to take profit. My motto is you never go broke taking a profit. I'll probably stick around a little longer up until earnings before I get out, but I'm up about 175%. So I'm willing to actually get back 25 to 50% off of that trade, before I take profit. But and just being honest, that is a gamble. Just sticking to my principles, I would have got out of Mara when it hit the 200% mark. I would have got out. Just using this as a case study, just to show you the ups and downs and how not to let greed take over. Because at this point, at 200%, I do have enough time on the option, being that I can hold it out till February, and I'm fine with that. And the way crypto is trending right now, I think we do have a little more room to run. But I do think if I hit that $89 mark, I'll probably go ahead and take profits. If I don't sell both of those contracts, I'll at least sell one of those contracts and bring in profit. I'm not your guys' financial advisor, but I do suggest, if this is your first trade or whatever, leave it in green. Don't give the money back. Go ahead and sell those shares or sell those contracts and put that money in the bank or in your earnings power, and then we'll look at some other options or some other stock to look at. One to put on you guys' radar. I won't give you the research on it. I want you guys to do your own research. But HUT, H-U-T, they're at a good entry price right now. I would wait for a slight pullback before I jumped in and made my purchase. But take a look at HUT. I think you guys may be able to make a little money next week on it, and I'll show a little more next week. But that's it for the stock charting today. If you guys have any additional information you guys would like to learn, or just want to do some more trades, let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with friends. I think we're in a great opportunity to when it comes to transfer of wealth right now. There's a lot of money to be made in crypto, and Mara is not a cryptocurrency, but it is a company that's tied directly to cryptocurrency. So I won't hold you guys any longer. I appreciate you for taking the time to stick this video out with me. Let me know if it was helpful. Let me know, give me some critiques if it, what I could do to make these videos a little more helpful and a little more engaging. But again, if you made money, congratulations. Let me know in your comments, or let me know in the comments on Facebook. But I thank you again, guys, for rocking with me. Continue to do your own research. And remember, right, it is a grind, right? It doesn't stop. So let's take these profits and let's grind another one up to the top. But until we meet again, guys, keep grinding.